Good morning, students. Uh, I hope you all are good and fine. Today, we are going to start with our new class on the innovation management subject. The topic is classifying R&D operations that make up R&D. That means how the R&D will takes place in classifying it, and how the operations, what are the operations will make up R&D. So we are going to learn those things. So I want to just go for the small introduction. In the earlier 20th century, the university undertook a research which was financed by public and was armed for public good. This research was conducted within the universities for the pursuit of the new knowledge. But what happened after this? Uh, the access to this knowledge was given to public, but was unable for commercial purpose. That means only for the public usage this innovation has been taken place and not for the commercial purpose. So what happened? By considering this, by seeing this strategy, uh, the industrial research was also conducted with an aim of benefiting the company which is funding the research. And not only that, it focused, that means the industrial research after seeing the result from the universities research and development facilities and activities and the benefits also, the industry nowadays, that means the industry people also started doing the research in their products or for their company or organizations for the beneficiary of the company's funds or for the beneficiary for the company's future course of an action. So the main purpose, the it focus, that means the industry focus mostly on the research activities carried out within the organizations. Whatever the organizations are, activities will be there within the organizations. The industrial research will focus on that activities only. And the main purpose of industrial research is to grow and make profits for the development of new product and business. Not only that, it also focus on the possible result also. Here we are having a new four activities which were taking place in the industrial R&D. So the first one is the new technologies are discovered and developed. Whatever the new industries will be there, what's the main purpose of R&D is to discover the new technologies that can be developed. With the help of those activities you can develop. So these are the main activities included in R&D. And improvement of technological understanding in existing product. Whatever the existing product is there in the market, to that also if you are going to improve new technologies which will be understand easily. And improvement of knowledge of technologies used in manufacturing. Whatever the technologies are being there, that should have to be used, new technology should have to be used in manufacturing. If you have seen, if I take an example of Ford car, if you see the manufacturing industries pictures or videos of 1920 or 1940, the technologies which were using in 1920s 100 years back are differ in the present day. Now see how the improvement is there in the technology that is focusing on the new knowledge of manufacturing. That means this is helping to the customers or to the companies for the new innovation. And not only that, the important one of the activity of R&D is the study outcomes from research institutions and universities are considered. That means whatever the studies comes out from the research institution and universities, whatever the universities are saying, that will be carried out for it. And we'll have a small picture here so that you people can able to understand what does it mean. See here, the university for in the olden days, the university people used to participate it, and they will do the research. They will identify the problems, and they will researches. They will conduct the research. They will find out the solution for it. After that, the industry people also started participating in the industry, but it was only within their organizations. What are the problems or the activities are going place? They are going to do the research on it, and they are going to focus on it. So this was the main purpose of it. And temporary trading zone. This, if you see in this picture, the blue colors are the totally university peoples, and the red color or the maroon color you can see it's the from university participation. What is the main purpose? They are exchanging the knowledge from one person to another person, from one place to another place, or by one time to another time. And what the industry university coordinates, this will be the coordination between the company and the university. It's a project. The green one is a project. So temporary, and what is this? The blue color is a temporary trading zone, are risk-free and extraordinary. Whereas university industry coordinations will be takes place. This is both coordination of the industry, coordination of the university. That is nothing but the project. So the project focus on mostly towards university level as well as the industry level. One more picture I want to show you here, which talks about, see, this is the early stage of research, how it was, and it was the focus first, and how the technology readings will be there, and this one is commercial development. It was the university focus, how they have done, and then how the industry has been taken place. Let's have a look over here. This is the government. That means if you see the blue line which is over here, it's totally talking about the government. And as SF catalyzes partnership, other government entities fund research development to their needs. What are the needs will be there, they have and raised to this. And university, what the university will do, it will provide research infrastructure, human capital, and technical expertise. So all these things are taking place in these. So as a result, what is coming to the research provides funding. They will fund it here to the universities or to the government for doing the research, and insight for industrial relevant projects. Whatever the relevant projects will be there, they will be having focus on it. So what is happening? All these things are focusing on this. This is the URACs are focused on bringing the gap between the early academic research and the commercial readiness. So whatever the gap the research university is having or the industry is having, that will be focused and fulfilled by this department. So at last, what is the main purpose? If you see in this Venn diagram, so it has been mentioned clearly that the star, it's talking the combination of all the studies which is focusing and which is beneficial for all the departments. Now this is the main purpose. How the fundamental, that means how the in which areas of research is classified in both the university level as well as the industry level. If you see in the university level, what are the things are coming, like fundamental and basic research will be there, applied research which is there, product development will be there. What do you mean by fundamental or basic research? Fundamental and basic research are nothing but it includes the work of general nature which is applied different uh, areas are to new knowledge about an area. That means it is totally known as scientific science in general performed by the laboratories of large organizations and universities. Whatever the scientist peoples will do in the laboratory or research in the university, that will be come in the general section. The result of this activity are in the form of scientific papers for journals. Whatever the results are coming with this uh, basic research, that will be mentioned in the journals or the magazine, or it will be recorded. So it will mention the paperwork. Coming to the industry, that means another one, that is applied research. Applied research is also known as application of science. Keep in mind, applied research is also known as application of science. In this activity, the existing scientists, that means who the scientists which are working on the already who are working the fundamental or the basic research, they will go for the principles are used to derive the solution for a particular problem. What are the problems are there within the university or within the organization, they'll focus mostly on that. So if you see in this picture here, the university mostly focus on the fundamental basic research, but whereas the applied is used for that research, they are applying some new innovation. uh, it also helps in development of a new technologies and patients. For example, Dyson vacuum cleaner developed by Newton, which involves the application of science of centrifugal forces. This technology became one of the reasons for the development of several patents. So it is an applied research. Already this research has been done, and again this research is applying some other content. So that's the reason this sort of process is known as applied research. And coming to the product development, mostly if you see in this picture, it is focusing on the product development of the product, and university is focusing very less, whereas the industry research is focusing very high. So development activities, it's applied research where scientist principles are used, but varies in the activities that focus mainly on the products, not on the objectives. So they will go for the includes different extra exploratory research for upgrading performance of a product. See, as I have considered, given the example of the Dyson vacuum cleaner, and several modifications and enhancements were made to the prototype product before the commercial product was finally developed. So the company has now launched a cylinder model as an important to its earlier model. So what is talking? This talks about the development of the product. So that applied research is taking place, and again we are developing the development is there according to the time situation. Now we will go for the next term, that is uh, the operations that make up R&D. So we are having four operations towards the making the R&D. The first one is that talks about basic research, applied research, development. Fourth one is technical services. As I was saying before, that basic research, it includes a general nature which is applied in different areas, achieve a new knowledge about an area, about a particular area. The university peoples will do the paperwork on this, and they will do the basic research, and this data will be gone to the industrial or the company data. So they will purchase it, or they will take the data from the university and they will focus on it, and the applied research will be taken place. As I told you, that applied research is also known as application of science. In this research, the existing scientific principles are used to derive a solution for a particular problem. What are the problems will be there, they will identify, then depending on that they will find out the solution for that problem. It helps in development of a new technologies and patients. Whatever the new technologies are coming upon the technologies and patent, they will focus on it, they will develop. So the technology which was using in 1920, we can't, the same technology it can't work in 2020. As the days has gone, as the technology is improving, as the needs and demands and the wants or the necessity of the customers has been changed, so it is not, it will not work for a long term. So by depending on the situation and condition, we should have to be upgraded by ourselves. So this is the applied research will take place. Coming to the development, we only focus on the products, as I was told you already earlier. So what the company will do, they will focus, they will have some budget or the fund they will take out for the sake of R&D on the, especially on the product. What are the things should have to be modification should have to take place during the time duration, or whatever the deletion should have to be taken place during the same time duration. If our product is having some defects or effects, we have to remove it. If our product are in need of some other features what the competitors are having, and because of those features our product is not in the high sale promotion, so these things will be helpful in adding the development. Coming to the technical services, that technical service research will help provide technical services to the existing product and processes or services. Whatever the uh, uh, services we are having for the existing product or service, it will provide technical support so that it can be able to helpful for our product. Now we will go for our next thing, how the R&D integration will takes place. Before that, I want to focus on important term. Yeah, we'll go for how the R&D management is focusing on its link with the business strategy and integration of R&D. So the four important things are there. See how the R&D management and its link with business strategy, that means integration of R&D is taking place. First one we are having in this, we are having four important planning process. First one is environment forecast, environmental, that is environmental forecast, comparative technological cost effectiveness. Third one is risk. Fourth one is capability analysis. See what do you mean by environmental forecast? The environmental forecast, it will help to the company for taking the decisions who will be our rivals in 5 or 10 years time. And second one, what technologies do we need to learn to evade our technological surprises? Last one, what should be or what would be the modern competitive technologies and business? So all these things, all these criteria will work and focus on the environmental forecast. So we have to be very active in the market when our competitors are there behind us. So we have, every company nowadays is planning for the future 5 year plans or 10 years plans. So all these things works and depends on the environmental forecast. So either we, after 10 years or 5 years, are we are having the raw materials can be supplied by the suppliers or not, either he's having the stock with him or not, or we should have to tie up with the new suppliers or not. All these things will be taking place within the environmental forecast. So they will say in futures, see maybe the supplier who is already supplying to us, maybe he is having the stock of 5 years. After 5 years, to whom we have to approach, and how we have to make. After 5 years, if we are waiting for some other suppliers, then if you, some other competitors will tie up with those people, then we won't get the raw materials. So in the market, our product will not run for the long term. So that's the reason our business can be come down. So all these things, all these criteria are comes under the environmental forecast. So the expert peoples of the company or the decision maker peoples of the company will focus 5 years or 10 years before only what are the things we have to do and focus on it. Coming to the second point, that is comparative technology and cost effective. See, it is totally specific on the life cycle. See, as we are having the product life cycle, here we are to having the technological life cycle. So depending on the time to time duration, whatever the new upgrades are coming and new techniques or technologies are coming, we have to learn those things and we have to utilize those things or implement in our organizations for the betterment and for the long run. Not only that, we have to focus on the comparative technical cost effectiveness, also focus on to produce the favorable results. Whatever the results are in need for us, that will be taking place via resources. And coming to the risk, third one. See, I'll give you one small example for the comparative technological cost effectiveness. Nowadays, many cars makers are making more research attempts in electrical power technology. See, till now, our vehicles, cars are on running via petrol or diesel, and very less amount of electricity cars are there in the market. So everyone are focusing that in future we may or may not be having the supply of the petrol or diesel or the lubricants. So depending on this, they want to start the car with the solar energy and with the electricity. So this is the comparative technological and cost effectiveness. It should have to affect, it should have to save our savings. Now coming to the risks, why every company, every organization, and at every field we are having the risks will be there. And what the, if you are not taking the proper decision, then the risk will takes place. So it is our duty to focus mostly on the proper planning should have to be taking place for not affecting with any kind of future risks. Coming for the fourth point, that is the capability analysis. This capability analysis, in order that means will help the companies should analyze their strength and weakness. That means it, the company will focus mostly on company's strength and weaknesses. So this capability analysis helps to the company. What are their weakness? What are their strengths? They will analyze by themselves, and what are the essential capabilities they should have to save or they should have to produce for the future. All these things will be taking place by the expert peoples. So these are the things where the companies will focus, and these things will help in the research and development management to identify the business strategies and integration of R&D. So the move, I repeat once again, students. First one is the environmental forecast. Second one is the comparative technological cost and effectiveness. Third one, risk. Fourth one, capability analysis. So all these things are focusing on the organizations where they have to tie up for the future upgrades of the technologies. So this helps for less risks in the future. So I hope students you have understand the topic and concept. So please mention your roll numbers in the comment box. Thank you. Have a nice day.